Alright, hi everyone. We are outside the CERES EcoHouse, and this was one of the first buildings that formed the early part of CERES. So it was actually moved from another part of Brunswick and then renovated. It's been a showcase for the public in terms of energy efficient housing. And we just keep on upgrading it. It is now what we call a zero carbon house, which is pretty exciting. So we're not using any fossil fuels to heat or cool or cook or whatever in the house. So we're pretty happy about that. The house performs really well. It's a 1930s, roughly 90-year-old house. So we'll have a look at some of the features, what we did in the renovation, and then we'll focus more on some really low cost things that you can do at home. Some of the basic seasonal things we need to think about is really good shading in summer, and then getting as much of the winter sun possible given the surroundings into the building. So here we're at the end of April. You can see the shadow. We're not quite at midday yet, but we're getting pretty good sun into the building. So by the time it comes to the shortest day of the year, June 21st, 22nd, we're getting really good sun penetration into the building, and we'll talk about the back part of it. But we've got these fantastic external blinds. External blinds are much better at reducing heat coming into the house. Internal blinds are good, but external ones are better. What we're trying to do in terms of the garden is provide shading in summer and minimal obstruction of the sun in winter. So we've got these deciduous fruit trees, we've got an almond tree, we've got an apricot tree, and they help to keep the area cooler. In summer they'll provide some shade, and they'll drop their leaves in winter, giving us much more sunlight than we might have from an evergreen tree. Plus we get some food. We had some really old skylights here, and they were gaining heat in summer but also losing heat in winter. So we added a ceiling height polycarbonate double twin-walled material, which is pretty easy to install. So that's sealed a lot of, give it a lot of protection. It's like double glazing. Windows, we've added secondary glazing. So these are the original windows, 1930s windows, timber framed, which is great, and we've added secondary glazing. So here, this is an optical grade acrylic called plexiglass, really strong. Lightweight, so it can be used on sliding windows, all sorts of things. Additions like that, secondary glazing, can be 70 to 80% as good as brand new double glazing, with huge reduction in cost. This is another form of secondary glazing. This is a heat shrink plastic held on with double-sided tape. This is exceptional value. A window that size, probably about $5 in materials, and again this is going to perform 70 to 80% as well as brand new double glazing. So it's heat shrink plastic. Basically you cut it out to size, put up the double-sided tape, move gently along, getting it stuck on the edge. Once you've got it stuck on, you use a hairdryer and it pulls it tight, gives you that nice drumming effect. Yeah, so to do 4 panels, it's going to cost you in materials about $20. Absolutely brilliant. And things like simple draft proofing, making sure you've got good latches, and just some simple material. There are lots of different materials available now for draft sealing, so that when it's closed, it is actually closed nicely. So this is the back part of the house. We've got just here is where the original house, so when it came on site, this is where the original house ended, and up until 10 years ago, the wall, the outside wall of that old house was still here as an internal wall. So having opened it up means the natural lighting's better. It is in fact less drafty than it used to be. Alright, if we come to the back part here, so when this was constructed, it's a timber building on the outside, weatherboard, but we wanted to get what we call thermal mass, so dense material inside to store heat. And we've created this brick wall inside. So in winter time we get the beautiful sun coming in and warming up the bricks during the day, and then that heat is released back into the room at night time. In summer, these windows up here facing north are automatically shaded. There are fixed timber louvers on the outside. So but part of why it performs so well is we've got these wonderful windows here that we can open up and get rid of. Once the outside air temperature's dropped, we can get beautiful southerly coming through the house, cool the house down, cool the bricks back down for the next day. These windows are particularly well sealed, so even a really strong wind from the south, when it's closed, won't come through the seals. If you're going out or going to bed, you can put these windows into a more secure mode that stops people coming or going, and pretty much all weather. It still provides really good ventilation. Alright, these sky tubes, light tubes, whatever, are quite common in houses, but often they leak a lot of heat. Yeah? So the heat comes in summer and heat gets lost. One really, really simple, low-cost way of making that better insulated is to get some really thick bubble wrap and put it on top of that light disperser.